Good morning. Welcome to yet another series of ICCG's Lead to Transform webinar podcast, brought to you today in collaboration with our strategic partner, Singular Intelligence. I am Bala Anantarama, Executive Vice President for Business Strategy here at ICCG, and I will be your moderator for this very engaging session titled Demand Planning and Supply Chain Resilience in the Food and Beverage Industry. And with so much of dialogue happening around artificial intelligence, in today's webinar, we are going to share with you how AI agents developed by Singular Intelligence are transforming this very critical business need. At ICCG, we work very closely with the food and beverage business across the world, helping them digitally transform and navigate very complex challenges in supply chain planning, supply chain optimization, and business resilience. In today's environment, the stakes have never been higher. From volatile demand to supply chain disruptions, and staying ahead requires intelligence, agility, and innovation. I'm so happy today to be joined by two visionary leaders from Singular Intelligence, Mr. Sarvesh Kumar, founder and CEO of Singular Intelligence, and Sree Vidya Pillai, Chief Business Officer at Singular Intelligence. Singular Intelligence is a pioneer in developing AI-powered agents that empower organizations to make smarter, faster, and more resilient decisions in the face of uncertainty. Over the next 30 minutes, we will explore why demand planning and supply chain resilience are mission critical in today's food and beverage industry. How Singular Intelligence AI agents bring a new level of decision support, real-world insights into the value artificial intelligence brings to all the food and beverage business on a global scale. Feel free to post your questions in the Q&A panel throughout, and we will address a few, if time permits, towards the end. So without further ado, let me welcome our speaker, Mr. Sarvesh Kumar, founder and CEO of Singular Intelligence. Over to you, Sarvesh.
Thank you, Bala, and thanks to ICCG for hosting this very important conversation. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here. The food and beverage industry today faces unprecedented challenges. The pandemic, geopolitical issues, shifting consumer preferences have all contributed to a highly volatile and chaotic environment. This volatility impacts everything from procurement to production to distribution and has made traditional manual or spreadsheet-driven planning insufficient. In this context, two needs stand out: demand planning that is dynamic and accurate, capable of responding to fast-changing market signals, and second, supply chain resilience, the ability to quickly adapt and recover from disruptions, maintaining customer service levels and profitability. At Singular Intelligence, we believe that the next frontier in solving these challenges lies in AI agents. Unlike conventional software, our AI agents continuously learn from vast streams of internal and external data. They simulate multiple scenarios to help you make better decisions, adapt in real time to changing conditions. In the food and beverage space, this means you can predict demand more accurately, even with incomplete or noisy data, and optimize your supply chain for resilience and agility, reducing waste and having sustainable impact in a rather insecure food market. For example, one North American dairy producer we worked with saw a 15% improvement in forecast accuracy and a 10% reduction in stockouts, simply by augmenting their planners with our AI-driven insights. These aren't just tools, they are digital teammates, super agents that work alongside your planners and managers, freeing them to focus on strategic decisions rather than fighting fires. Now, I would like to invite my colleague, Sree Vidya Pillai, to walk you through how our solutions are delivered and the specific value they create for food and beverage businesses.
Thank you, Sarvesh, and hello, everybody. It's a privilege to share how Singular Intelligence collaborates with food and beverage industry to operationalize on agentic AI capabilities. So our AI agents have the capacity to solve three business challenges: forecast inaccuracies, supply demand imbalance, and inability to adapt to supply chain disruptions quickly. So, how do we do it? So, we have an agentic AI platform called Catman AI, which has the capacity to integrate both structured data and unstructured data. Structured data involves the retail sales order data like price, promotion, digital marketing, performance marketing data. So we integrate that with socioeconomic factors like GDP and unemployment together with the temperature and supply performance data. We get an understanding, or we get an overview of the drivers of the demand. When it comes to unstructured data, we use the text data like social media data to understand the shifts in consumer preferences. We also use organoleptic data of crops or any food items, which can give information about the texture of the food or the smell and appearance of the food to predict the quality of the food. So all this data is ingested into our agentic AI platform, and our AI models are backed and powered by game theory and deep reinforcement learning. So these models are run on the data. So they learn from the data continuously and provides information on inventory planning, inventory optimization, price optimization, production planning, production shifts, and even the marketing optimization. The planners and executives can use them to create what if scenarios, like if you have to increase the price by 15% or 10%, what's the impact on sales? So those are the kind of scenarios that could be typically run. So we've helped a North American food and beverage business to decrease their waste by 12% and increase the product availability by 8%. For another beverage company in the North America, we were able to estimate the demand spikes during the regional sporting event, with which they were able to help reallocate or proactively manage the distribution, which helped them drive the promotional sales uplift. The key element of our agentic AI is that we don't eliminate the human beings. We augment the existing team and improve the superhuman, or bring the superhuman capabilities into the system. So we've partnered with ICCG to integrate our solution into your WMS, ERP, or any planning system smoothly, and making it the onboarding pretty easy. Over to you, Bala.
Thank you. Thank you, Sree. Thank you, Sarvesh. This is a very good introduction to the value singular intelligence AI agents are specifically bringing to the food and bev world. As I was listening to you, I was reminiscing on two recent experiences I myself came across. Let me briefly provide you a little bit of an outline on that. One is a meat processing company who, as you know, most meat processors in the US import meat from Australia, New Zealand. And so they get that in, and then they have a co-packer with whom they process it in order to deliver it to the highly volatile retail space they work with. Costco, Walmart, Sam's Clubs, all these large, retail big box stores, right? So when they came to us, it was a very interesting conversation. The investor, promoter of the business from a private equity came to us and said that they are looking for an ERP system. We said, fine, we will have a further discovery and dialogue. But guess what? As part of the conversation, we really found out that the immediate, most burning problem they were trying to solve, besides, of course, needing to upgrade their ERP, was having accuracy in their demand forecast so that they are able to, at lightning speed, be able to address the changing demand pattern for their meat products from all these big box retailers. So that again is a clear dimension that resonated with me from what you have shared, that possibly the AI agents from Singular Intelligence could solve some of those challenges that they have. And definitely we will be having a dialogue with that meat processor. Similarly, we were working in the West Coast with a dairy. Here is a dairy which actually makes cream products, dairy products, cheese, Greek yogurt. All these are becoming increasingly today popular in the high protein Gen Z marketplace. And they white label their products to a lot of the large retail stores, more local in the California region. Again, for them, while we, of course, were in dialogue with them to update their ERP from where they are today, it was again so transparent to us that the key to what they were really also struggling to solve here was their demand planning. So this is very timely, Sarvesh and Sree, and we are wanting to hear more about really how, Singular Intelligence with your AI agents can add value here. And in that context, a few clarifications is in order here. So as I said, we, of course, are in the enterprise resource planning, warehouse management, supply chain planning space. We do have demand forecasting tools. We do have all that as part of the solution portfolio that we carry. But still, Sarvesh, what makes AI agents more effective than the traditional forecasting and planning tools that we normally carry in our bag of solutions? Over to you, sir.
Sure, very well said about the use cases that you spoke about, Bala. Very relevant and timely. And these are the problems that forced the older traditional forecasting planning solutions to adopt AI and new technologies. So one of the things that we realized is creating issues in forecasting solutions with customers and existing tools is aggregate forecast. Singular solution forecasts at granular levels. Any hierarchy, category, or market will go through top level to down to the SKU level or geo level, postcode level, zip level in the US. And when you go through that hierarchy, you don't know how to forecast. And that's where your stores are there. That's where your planning accuracy is required. So hyper-local planning, not necessarily hyper-local always, but at various levels of the market and category. Singular solution forecasts at granular levels using all causal factors data and the latest modeling technology in real time leveraging deep tech of game theory and reinforcement learning at all levels. This is not possible in traditional solutions. AI agents then continuously learn and adapt. Traditional tools rely on static models, on the other hand, and historical averages, which don't work in a volatile environment. And remember, we are talking about an environment which is volatile, uncertain, chaotic, and ambiguous. AI agents, however, ingest real time data and adjust forecasts dynamically, keeping you ahead of the curve. And that's where the accuracy, timeliness of decision making comes into picture, which is ranging from hours, days, months, weeks, months, quarters to strategic scenario planning. And that is what is required in today's organizations, even with the best of ERP and CRM systems. In
Fantastic.
addition,
Yeah. Go ahead.
unlike traditional onboarding, our solutions can be easily integrated with source systems like ERP, supply chain, and other enterprise systems. So that's where the difference comes into picture: onboard and scale without compromising on quality of insights and decisions.
Fantastic, Sarvesh. This is so relevant. And I was again relating to this. For example, we work with multiple portfolio of solutions with a leading enterprise software provider, Infor. Infor
Mhm,
has a very dedicated focus for the food and beverage vertical. In multiple
mhm,
areas, they have a best-in-class product lifecycle management solution called Optiva. They have a best-in-class ERP solution, Infor Cloud Suite Food and Beverage, also popularly known in the marketplace as Infor M3. And then they also have best-in-class supply chain planning and supply chain execution systems. So that kind of could be the system of record for the customers. But
mhm,
obviously, what value singular intelligence is bringing forward is being able to connect to those source systems of record and still
mhm,
give this level of granularity to the demand planning and forecasting. I think that is a huge value proposition, possibly happening at a real time. I
mhm,
completely understand, Sarvesh and Sri, that this is not magic. Okay, let's not set that expectation that it is not magic. And therefore, Sri, let me ask you this. Okay, as Sarvesh beautifully explained how you bring this to fore, what does a typical implementation look like? And how long does it take to see results for a typical customer? And maybe you can share some examples. Over to you, Sri.
Okay. Typical implementation starts with a POC followed by a POV and a full-scale ROI roadmap. The measurable improvements are usually seen in the first quarter, and full-scale ROI is achieved in a period of 6 to 12 months. So
That
it's a
is,
very short onboarding process, and the measurable improvements in ROI is seen in about the first quarter itself, and we use the value and impact that we were able to achieve in the POC as a benchmark for the full scale pilot for a full scale ROI.
yeah, I think that's again well said, Sri. So, two key takeaways for our audience. Number one, obviously, there is a proof of concept approach that you follow, okay, really driving it, followed by a complete extension for on a scale for a roadmap with a good ROI prepared. And the proof of concept doesn't take more than 8 to 12 weeks. But also, you hit home the very key factor. It's one thing to, get carried away and think about embarking on an AI journey, but then the data readiness is as important to enable that AI agent to do the magic. And the good thing is that, again, ICCG and singular intelligence, we can combine forces. We understand the data sets that will come from either an ERP or a supply chain planning solution or a warehouse management solution. And you are therefore able to work to ensure that the collaboration between the two is happening in a very seamless manner. In sync, in harmony is a better word, so that we are able to produce this kind of a results. And honestly, I think if we can demonstrate this kind of an improvement, this is the number one problem that the industry is faced with today. And we will be able to definitely provide a wonderful, workable, proven offering here through singular intelligence and the AI solution that you bring in. So, Sarvesh, how does this approach align also with the sustainability goals that is also equally key in the food and beverage industry today?
So we have learned with time and several customer projects and research projects that we did with Innovate UK over time, small, big, large companies, that efficiency and sustainability in the long term are interlinked. Better demand planning means less overproduction and less waste.
Correct.
You see, that's where the link lies. By optimizing inventory and logistics, companies can reduce not only waste but also emissions because they are again linked, and make more sustainable decisions, which is increasingly important for consumers and regulators alike. In the food sector, various segments converge, and one can use the insight of a granular details to optimize various sub-processes, reducing waste overall, even though they belong to different value chain. For example, feed cost in aquaculture can be optimized with the waste of poultry. Reuse across value chains leads to overall unit cost reduction, better efficiency, carbon emission reduction, and achieving sustainability targets. In addition, the food transport carbon impact is also reduced with transport multimodal optimization. So we see that they're all interlinked. If we do one and also have a focus on the other one, we will achieve both efficiency and carbon impact reduction, efficiency improvement and carbon impact reduction with any customer and overall industry.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, this has been a wonderful dialogue, and the insights that Sarvesh, you and Sree have shared based on your expertise and real world examples is so very, very relevant for what we are trying to communicate to our food and beverage clients and target base. It's very clear that artificial intelligence, the AI agents, are just not a technological innovation. They are a competitive advantage for the food and beverage companies looking to thrive in today's dynamic environment. That's very evident. What I would just therefore request both of you is maybe you can share some of your closing thoughts, and also how would you see a partnership with ICCG bringing value for growing the presence of singular intelligence to the target base that we are working on, which even within food and beverage, we are micro verticalizing into dairy and dairy products, food flavors and ingredients, and protein, which is the high level definition for meat processing. And so just wanted to hear your closing thoughts, Sarvesh and Sree.
So thank you so much, Bala, to give us the opportunity to talk about our technology solutions and value proposition. Uh, we are very keen to partner with companies like ICCG, who have a strong presence in the fundamental IT sector of data, ERP, supply chain kind of technologies and implementations. And your knowledge of customer and our knowledge of technology can come together to create significant value to their industry and ROI. And that's where we see the joint value proposition shaping up.
Sree, your closing thoughts. Thank you, Sarvesh.
Sure. Thank you, Bala. Uh, we would like to partner with ICCG for its domain experience in the food and beverage sector and the program management aspect, as well as the company is based in Chicago. So we could easily take the support of ICCG for stakeholder management and project management along with the domain expertise, in addition to what Sarvesh has mentioned about your expertise in IT and the ERP planning and so on. So that's where we are looking at partnership with you, and yeah, I think
Thank
it's
you.
going to be a good, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So to get to the end of this very insightful webinar, I want to first of all thank both of you, Sree and Sarvesh, on a Friday, taking time, giving us the gift of your time to share about singular intelligence, AI agents, particularly helping building supply chain resilience, addressing key issues in the area of demand planning and overall sustainability. So appreciate. I think this is going to be something which will be definitely well received by the food and beverage clients and prospect world that we are engaged with. And we look forward to having more detailed one-on-one dialogues with some of these very important food and beverage clients of ours to take this journey forward. Before we wrap up, I would love to hear state if all of you would love to learn more about how ICCG and Singular Intelligence can help your business. Please reach out to us. We would be happy to schedule a personalized consultation with Sarvesh and Sree, and this session will be available as a recording for more share across our social channels as well. So on behalf of ICCG and Singular Intelligence, thank you all for being part of this journey with us to learn more about bringing in artificial intelligence to address the most important aspect that is impacting food and beverage business, accuracy in demand planning, demand forecasting, to build a good supply chain resilient marketplace. Thank you. Stay safe, stay resilient. We look forward to connecting with you all again very soon. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.